15 seconds. Yeah, cool.
G'day guys, and welcome to Big Red's Aussie Adventures. I'm Jono, aka Big Red. I joined the army at the age of 18 years old, and I spent the next few years getting paid to stay alive outdoors. This channel will bring you all types of outdoor adventures, from camping with friends and family, hunting, but mainly guys, we'll be out here on the water fishing, because that's something I truly love doing. I'm just your everyday Aussie larrikin, hoping to make you laugh and catch some decent fish along the way. Hey guys, just a quick heads up. This video talks about some heavy stuff that might be upsetting or triggering for some people. If that's the case for you, please take care of yourself and feel free to click away if needed. I've also dropped some hotline numbers and support resources in the description below if you need someone to talk to. Just remember, you're not alone.
Well, good morning guys, and welcome back to another Veterans Day. Today on board I've got a couple of people that are part of a fishing club with myself that I've only just recently joined, which is the Cleveland RSL Fishing Club. Now on board today, the veteran himself is Nick, and he's a mad fisherman, and he's brought along his carer Peter, who's part of the fishing club as well, and of course everyone knows Chris is here and he'll be the cameraman for the day. Well guys, what we're going to do this morning is we're going to punch it straight to the bar. We're going to try to skip across it, grab some live bait, and then we're going chasing that elusive Spanish mackerel that I seem to never be able to find. But with these two fishermen, we should have a bit more luck. Well guys, we'll see you when you get out to the bar, and we'll see you when we start grabbing some live bait. Have a good one. Well, welcome back guys. We've just crossed the bar, we're grabbing some live bait. We've got some yuccas in there. Don't know if you can see them too well because the water, oh, there you go, look down there, there's some live bait in there, there's the yuccas. We're just getting some more. We got Chris on one bait rod, Nick on the other, and I've just finished setting up the trolling lines so that we'll be ready to go. So what we're running is Guz, thank you Luke. We're bringing these big puppers over last night. Guys, look at the size of them. That's my hand. I'm a 6 foot bloke, so it's not small. But they're the Reaper rigs from Lure In. I'm using one, Nick's using one, and as you can see, we've got a full fucking bait string of liveys. All right, guys, I'm gonna get these off, and then we'll go for a troll. About 30 on that one, about 20 on this one. So if you go back as far as you want, yours. You can go, or you can go shotgun. That's fairly shotgun because it's not very far back, and this one's fucking just behind us. Rocking and rolling. Beautiful. That was a marlin, did you see it jump? Hopefully that caught it. How do I do? How do I do a fucking happy face? "39 minutes, Chris. Can you put that into your phone? Send me a message, 39 minutes. I'm sure you'll be able to see that marlin jump. That's just a little dude, he's just hanging onto it. Doesn't feel heavy enough. It's not taking it on. Nah. Far out, I bet you it's stripped, but. Fuck! Do I pull it in?
gone?
Yeah, you killed that one. Touch my toes, touch my toes, touch my toes, touch my toes.
You happy with the speed, or you want to tickle it up a touch?
Speed's good. That
Pretty good, alright.
marlin hit it. I seen it jump, that's why I knew it was a marlin. I can't believe that marlin hit it. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. At 39 minutes, marlin hit it. Come on, fishy. Oh, you going to lure?
I thought I'd get run something a bit deeper. We're running the same thing.
Oh, right. What you're saying is you don't like what I'm doing, Nick.
No, I do.
Nick doesn't like what I'm doing, everyone. He's just made his mind up. That's it. Nick's off me.
Oh, shit, what is it?
That would have been something I haven't caught either.
No, that would be fun.
That would have been really fun. I think I would have maybe even nearly done like a big celebration dance. Come on, mala, 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 mala. Hey, mala, 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 mala. Devastating. Yeah, he jumped up, got out of the water, big turtle there. I thought we were going to have some good luck then. Well, that was devastating. Should probably quit the fishing club now. Can't even catch a marlin. And all I had to do was hold on. Hey guys, bit of an update. We've been going and doing this for about 30 minutes. I'm hoping you guys seen off the back deck cam. We'll put some footage up here if we did. But we just had a marlin. We seen it jump out of the water. It hit the shotgun on the port side of the boat. Oh, sorry, starboard side. I got it back to front, round the wrong way. Starboard side of the boat, but it didn't hook up. But you could see it was a marlin. When we got the wire trace back, it all had a big piggy tail in it, which means he's hit it with his bill, trying to slap the fish and hit the trace, and it didn't hook in, which was disappointing. But hopefully we're going to go for a couple more passes, I think, and then we'll call it quits and punch it out to try to get some snapper and pearlies. Alright guys, we'll keep you updated and hopefully the reels start screaming. Well guys, as you might see, Nick isn't wearing one of those shirts that I've done the last few Veterans episodes in, and that's because we've stopped working with that company in providing us shirts, and once we are a full-blown charity in 2026, which is not far away, I'll be getting my own shirts designed and then I'll be handing those out to the veterans. But we're out here. Nick's got a few rods out, I've got a few rods out. We're still trying to get that elusive Spanish mackerel. We're trolling 3 gars. This one here is just a normal rig. This one is a old school reaper rig, and Nick's running one of the newer reaper rigs with the weight in the chin. Good old Pete's driving the boat for us, seeing he's the captain at the moment, and Chris is watching that screen, seeing if we can see any boomerangs. But we've only been out a little bit trying to have a troll. We'll probably give it another, I don't know, 45 max, and then we'll punch it down and try to at least fill the esky with some decent fish, and then we'll punch it back inside the bar and I'll give a interview with Nick. Now with the interview today guys, it's going to be a bit different because myself and Nick yesterday went down to Cafe Chieti for lunch, and as you can see with some of this footage here, it was great. We ended up having a sandwich, toasted cheese sandwich, we smashed a few milkshakes, Nick had a cup of tea, and then, yeah, the lovely owners down there, David and Georgie, that's my daughter, wrong one. George, they looked after us, which they always have. They're one of our main sponsors and been with us since day one. Now, what I wanted to show you guys today, when it was really important that I made sure that Chris attended today, was he brought these tool racks here from First Light Fabrication. Now, as you can see, that holds everything. And that's their brand down there, that's their little sticker. But it holds all your tools. So you've got your D-hooker, your brain spike, your Panthers, and then over on the other side, you've got a pair of braid scissors, your pliers, and your Gerber knife, your bait knife. Now, you know, I'm not sponsored by them in any way. I'm just showing you guys some of the cool products that we use, which seem to help us out here. Keeps your, you know, other than my spare knife, which I always run for bait, it keeps me bait board really clean. It keeps underneath where I can keep me fish grips, me long nose pliers, and me 2 brag mat and me tape measure, a few sinkers. But it's been the easiest way for me to keep everything tidy, and it seems to, I guess, help. A lot of the guys that I've taken out, they really love it. And one of the biggest comments we got this morning from Pete was, he said, "Oh, is that a 4-stroke?" And I said, "No, mate, she's a Evinrude 2-stroke." And I said she was put on by Marine Care Queensland, by Al and Tony down there. And mate, she purrs like a champion. One of me favourite motors at the moment, but it's all I can afford. Well, anyway, guys, I'll let you know how we go, and I'll check back in very shortly. Hopefully, we've got a screaming reel. Bye, guys. See you on the next part. Well, guys, we've finished trolling. We're about to have a go at our first drop. Not much on the sounder at the moment, but we'll keep pushing around. I'm going to send out some liveys, see what we get, and then we'll have another reel. Fuck's sake, you little stupid little mackerel. Second drop, guys. Come on. Give me some. Alright guys, it's second drop. As you can see, the lines is going out, waiting for it to hit the bottom. I think we're on the bottom. Yeah, that, or we're not drifting in the right direction, we're still going forward. Half kilo, whatever you need.
Back to Sydney, what it's running on the
behind targets, 3 shots, and move, reload.
yeah.
Anyhow, get it.
Getting little bites, I'm trying to give it to them, feed it to them in their mouth so they have a bit of a chew. Oh, you didn't even say anything over there.
Hey, look at that, he's legal too.
He's legal. Look at that, Nick's already on.
Sorry, Nick, he's only 350. He's got to go fucking back.
Make sure you get a photo so you can enter it into the comp.
I just got the camera out now. Before
You spike them and what do you do?
Brain spike them and then throw them in the bin. Ah, Jesus.
you're on.
No, I don't think I am. If it is, it's going to be small.
But just with rifles or pistol?
Alright guys, we're going for the third drop now. Nick's already caught one on his second drop. It's in the esky, 45cm squire. And now Chris is just going to get me a battery, and then I can swap this over and we'll put it back out on the side, guys. Alright, Fourth drop. Nick, that's the fish, mate. Head shaking. Chris, camera, under your line, you're over it, go under. I'll move this rod for you. Save your life. There you go. $50, mate.
No, that's the bottom.
Close to the bottom.
Yeah.
Head shaking there for a minute.
Oh, we'll find out in a minute.
That's
I doubt it. Pretty small. I got that heavy weight on. It's hard to tell what I've got.
what heavy weight.
2 pound fish with a 10 pound fucking weight.
I definitely, yeah, I had a bite. Yeah.
Oh, we might actually have a fish on here. She's a lot heavier. Oh no, it's because I've got 2 lines. Oh, hey, I got a little one, finally! Little tiny baby one. Little tiny baby squire. Getting bigger. On my side anyway. Started with a baby, now I'm like a teenager. Just need a dad. Another squire. Down a little. 33.
I'm gonna step over there. Can you grab the rack of my shirt so this?
What if I want you to fall in? Guys, this is 4,692. Nah, joking, this is like 6th or 7th drop. Nick's still got one on the boat. I haven't caught shit. He hasn't caught anything.
Lost one marlin.
And we lost the earlier marlin earlier on. Alright guys, we're going to push it in a bit closer because the wind out here is, not the wind, it's just the current out here just seems to be ripping and we can't actually get our baits to sit on the ground. So I'm going to go in somewhere a bit closer, see if we can drop them down a bit quicker. Alright, see you when we get in there.
Bigger fish.
Oh.
Pardon?
Snapper would be better.
Yeah. I know what's wrong. I haven't got my fishing hat on.
Ah.
Oh. That's what it is. Not holding your tongue right. You haven't got the right hat on.
Want another Sambo, Peter?
No, mate, I'm right.
No touches, Jono?
What is that?
One of those darts.
I don't know what that is.
I think it.
I don't think classic podcast.
Hey, if anything, I think you're the smartest one at the boat.
Well,
Why would you go and carry heavy stuff?
that's dried out, that bread.
Either.
Mine's dry. And fresh too.
You might be good blokes. Far out, you're fucking worse than a banana. Well, good afternoon, guys. Now look, the fishing this morning wasn't great. We hopefully we caught on the camera, and we'll throw it up again here. We hooked onto a marlin, but he got off. It looked like a little juvenile black marlin. And then the only person to land a fish in the boat today has been Nick, and he got the 45 centimetre squire. So anyway, it's on to the interview part of the time. So Nick, what were you in the Defence Force, mate?
Besides a no-hoper, I was what they call a general fitter. So when I joined back in the 70s,
Yep.
so I joined in 77 and they were doing big recruitment drives after Vietnam.
Yep.
So I direct entry, so they were taking all trades.
Yep.
So with this basically an ex-fitter and turner, I went in and I was a general fitter. So all GSE, so all the ground support equipment that supports aircraft,
Yep.
I worked on that. It doesn't sound like much, but it's a big variety of equipment.
Yeah.
Goes from vehicles and everything like that because it's all amalgamated.
Yeah.
Hook cables, so we used to pull up aircraft. So I went all over Australia with that. Overseas with it, installing them. I had a fair bit to do with it.
So you were RAAF then? So
Air
you were in
Force.
Air Force, okay. So that's our second RAAF boy on the boat. And look, I'll just put it this way, he made it back home, so he wasn't too cheeky out there. So when you say your role was the fitter and turner, that's what you did before you joined, and then you went into your...
Air Force and the fitting and turning.
Yep.
Actually, I could have joined with 3 trades as a machinist, a general fitter, or a general welder.
Oh, okay.
I chose to be a general fitter because you did all of them and you didn't have to stand in one place all the time. And by doing that, it got me into squadrons really quickly. So
Yep.
I'd done extremely well that way.
Cool. And we had lunch yesterday and we decided we'll edit these questions to make them a little bit more aimed at yourself. So the one of the biggest laughs I had yesterday is you kind of hinted that you weren't just your normal, like for myself, like for the army or private. You started off as
An ACR.
an ACR,
Yeah.
and then what happened? Sorry.
As in
Yeah, like so. What did you go to your next rank?
Corporal.
Corporal,
Yeah,
then
sergeant,
sergeant.
flight sergeant. Got out as a flight sergeant
Oh, okay.
after 22 years. Yeah.
22 years.
Yes.
Far out. That's a fucking effort.
Yeah. No. Well, I didn't have to get out. I chose to get out because I was going to be moved back to, and I will swear, fucking Melbourne, and I didn't want to go there.
Yeah.
Obviously, and I had a son that was 16, and he wanted to be a tradie, and at that stage around Australia, no one was really putting on apprentices.
Yep.
So I did a bit of research, and it was either Darwin or Gladstone were places to go and get a start as an apprentice. So back then, in '99, they were getting rid of people quick, you know. So I just put in for a discharge 4 weeks, gone out, and went straight to Gladstone. No job, no nothing. But if you're willing to work, you'll get work.
Yeah.
And it panned out for him. He did well. So I had my career the way I looked at it, and
Yep.
there gave him a start.
Oh, nice. That's really good of you to give up your career for your son, as such. You know, in the long run.
Well, I could have sat in the RAAF and be like some, I shouldn't say there till 55, fat, dumb and happy as a warrant officer, but yeah.
That's all warrant officers were There are different types of breeds of people, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So where'd you start? Like, so when you first joined the Air Force, where'd you get posted to as your first, like your post? And then how did you, like, each of your posts and what rank did you go up to? Because I heard before when we were off camera, you were talking about you got in trouble and you had 18 months or something probation, or?
Yeah, so I sort of struggled a little bit. I was 23 before I joined, and I
Yep.
worked in the mines, so I was sort of...
Yeah, you were underground, weren't you?
Yeah, I worked
Which
underground.
already means you're a different type of fucking
I was a
person.
bit of a handful, yeah.
Yep.
I
You got a fish on, mate. You got a fish on. You got a fish on. Oh, shit. That's a bull shark. Bull shark dancing. Chris, you get that? No, Chris didn't get it. Bull shark dancing. Oh, far out. There you go. He's dropped it. He dropped it. Yeah, no, that's what they do. They jump out of the water like idiots. Or he's either coming at me. He's coming at me. Yeah, he's coming at me. Biggest fish of the day.
There we go.
Yeah, baby.
maybe that's that male one.
Yeah, maybe it's like, oh, there you go. He snapped it.
They're very spectacular, aren't they, with their hooks?
Yeah, no, I only found out they jumped from a mate. And took the bottom hook. Oh, well. Done me.
You got that on film, Chris?
Oh, well, that was interesting and fun.
So basically, okay, I joined, I was 23 and
Yep.
I was working underground and that, and back in those days everyone had a beer and hair down to their ass, and a mate of mine said to me, Nick, he said, I'm going to join the Air Force, and I said, well, I think you're a bit of a fuckwit, but anyway, so he did join, and 3 months later he said how good it was, and I
Yeah.
thought, if he can do it, I'm gonna do this. So I went basically into Sydney and tapped on the counter, and they were doing a big recruitment drive, so I was in within 3 weeks basically.
Far out.
When I passed the medicals and all that,
Yep.
bang, they were straight in.
Yeah, I think
3
I had to
months.
wait close to 6 months.
Yeah, it was
I
just,
think it was.
and you'll hear me say this all the time, right spot, right time. I
Yeah.
was so lucky, everything that happened to me in the service, it just seemed to be, it didn't matter how good or bad you were or anything
Yeah.
like that. Right spot, right time. So on recruits, I was going through that, and you do 3 months, and the bloke running that, the corporal said, righto, you've got to fill out your posting preferences. So I filled it out, and he looked over my shoulder, and I've got, back then I had Ambly. So he said, you're supposed to put it down once, okay, as in Ambly, Williamtown, or whatever you want to do.
Yep.
I said, you're not understanding. I said, I want to fucking go there. He said, you're not understanding, this is the Air Force. So I said, my choice, put it down. Well, when they came out, I got it.
Yeah.
Straight into 482 Squadron with the F-111s.
Far
So I
out,
went
that's
from
all right.
the mines,
Yeah.
3 months left, right, straight into a squadron. And then I was married then with a little girl. Anyway, so the wife was still in the motel waiting for a house.
Yeah.
And we're in the motel by this stage at 4 weeks. And the flight sergeant there said, Nick, would you like to go to Learmonth? He said, we've got a job over there for about, 4 weeks or so. And I said, yeah, that'll be fine. He said, your wife in the motel? I said, no, it'll be fine. Okay, so over to Learmonth. And we put up the RAAF hangar. There was 5 of us before the exercise over there in 80. I can't remember, 83. I can't remember. But anyway, the first exercise. So it had been closed for a while, and they opened it back up. So we all put up a RAAF hangar, and then we all had a little job to do after that, which we did. And just while we were there, the things. So you got what I'm trying to say is here. I've only been in a RAAF 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And while we're there, one of the towers fell down for communications for Kalis's fisheries.
Yeah.
So we had a bloke with us that was a linesman. So our boss said, oh, well, we can put that up. And he sort of been there before, and he knew everyone in that area. And so we lifted it up. It took about half an hour. I didn't realise how quick it'd be. And Carlos's there's got one esky there full of piss and another one full of prawns.
Yeah.
So we emptied that all out and everything like that. I could go on about just that, but otherwise this will end up too long. But there was about 3 or 4 other instances. So anyway, I came back and my wife said, how'd you go? I said, I don't mind this Air Force bit. I said, this is all right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
You're getting to drink piss and eat prawns.
Yeah. I forgot. Well, we ran into Army over there.
Oh, yeah.
And they were doing all the navigation. They were looking at all the mapping and everything. And most of them were all warrant officers. And they had one officer there that was a pilot. They had a little Bell helicopter.
Yeah.
And they were there, and they had an Army cook that used to do all their cooking. And we'd just have a barbecue, and of course our boss, he'd have impress, which he'd have basically cash, and when he came back he'd quit it.
Yeah.
So what he'd do is just, we'd buy our own grog, but he'd go and buy prawns and that, and we'd be sitting there eating prawns and drinking grog, and they'd be over there eating, sort of rations basically. And he said,
typical Air Force.
we can't sort of eat in front of us, so I'm going to go and have a chat and see if we'll amalgamate basically. Yeah. And we did that, and then we got to know them, because before that they wouldn't talk to us, they didn't want to know us. So we did that and got along really well. And then the bloke in the Bell chopper, he said, "Does anyone here fish?" Yeah. Oh, well, tomorrow afternoon we're going to go when we've finished, and we only got hand lines, but we're getting a chopper and we go up. We've got to go up 500 feet. And I said, "Why is that?" He said, "Because if it conks out, we've got to auto-rotate back down, mate." Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So we went off fishing, hand lines, and come back each day. So it was just a big introduction. It was just like, like I said, only been in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. It was.
Oh, well, it's good to know that different corps get an easier slog, I guess. Like infantry, we carried everything and slept in shit, and you guys from what you
motels.
Yeah, slept in motels and got to eat prawns and fucking drink piss every day. Sounds like a holiday.
22 years.
22 years.
But, like any trader, if you stay outside, you meet great people, and now and again you'll run into a couple of people that shouldn't have the rank or whatever. But luckily there's only a few percentage of that. So my career, I ran into some just unbelievable people with knowledge and stuff like that. Learnt heaps. And most of them just wanted to have a good time and a laugh, and there's a lot of skullduggery going around.
Yeah, no, understandable. So when you joined and you finished all your training, you've gone to your squadron and you're there as such, what did your normal day consist of? Like, because I base it back to mine. Mine was, we get to work, you do your roll call, and you pissed off and did PT. Then it was breakfast. Then it was some type of drills, and then it was lunch, drills, then boozer.
Well, none of that happened where I was.
Oh, okay.
No. So, PT,
yeah.
No.
No?
We might stroll around the airfield or something like that. No, we were given our work.
Yeah.
So we'd go out and do maintenance on the equipment, like whatever's required, for aircraft. You see the bomb lifters and all sorts of things, pay movers, anything that moves or basically around an aircraft we worked on.
Yeah.
So we'd do that. So that was routine to a degree. And then if there was an exercise that came up, we'd prep for that and we'd go away. And there was like the hook cables, what we used to pull the aircraft up with.
Yep.
So I was involved with them virtually from the day I joined, which was a good thing, a mundane sort of a job, but it got you travelling everywhere.
Yeah.
So I virtually started that in 77.
Oh, right.
And as I went through to different bases, I would get onto different types of equipment, and of course, as aircraft changed, the equipment changed with that.
Oh, okay. Did you get any? I know you said to us the other day at lunch that you didn't get any actual overseas deployment, like your Vietnam vets, but you said that you got to go overseas with the RAAF.
I served in Malaysia for 3 years. Once again, I went from. It was pretty tough. It was hot there.
Yeah, it would have been really warm.
So you had the drink. So you get the picture. So I went from 482 Squadron,
yep,
F-111s, to Mirages in 3 Squadron. like I said, blessed.
Far out.
And
So like to the people at home that don't understand what an F11 is and an F18 and your Mirages, your F18s, well, your F11s were your fighter jets back in the day.
Bomber, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and then your 18s, they're a fighter aircraft.
Yep.
And now they've got 35s, and I don't even keep track what they've got now. I wouldn't have.
And then what's a Mirage?
They were a flying brick. Basically, it was a French aircraft. It was Delta Wing.
Yeah.
And when that flame went out, it went down. So we didn't have to worry about catching them.
Oh, okay.
But,
So they weren't the best.
No, no. So they, I can't exactly when we took them out of service, but as they phased them out, the 18s took over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Malaysia, you said, was really hard because you didn't do much over there. But did you get to see a little bit of the countryside over there? And
Travelled a lot over there, even in my own time, because I was a mad motorbike enthusiast, and there was a lot of old English bikes around, and being a fitter and turner, I could machine a lot of things, so I rebuilt a lot of bikes. I used to have there was 5 of us, and we'd ride around, and we'd have little trail bikes, 125s.
Yeah.
And so we'd ride in the middle of nowhere, jungle, and you'd get the places where you either pass it off something or pushed it off and climbed down and keep riding. And we just used to get around looking for old bikes, basically.
Yeah.
And then you'd run into these little villages, or kampongs as they called them, and got there, and they were amazing, like the people and how clean they were. Like they used to sweep all the dirt and everything like that. So things were immaculate. And always treated well.
And they used, I remember when we were in Timor, they used the brooms weren't like our normal brooms where it's got the nice nylon brushes.
Yeah.
It was like straw, and they just stick it all together, put a bit of tape, stick a pole in the middle, and that was their broom.
Yeah, and it only had a little handle because they're not too high.
Yeah, no, they're not very tall people. So, what would, if you had to look back, what would be the biggest thing you miss about being in the Air Force?
All the people in there.
Yeah, so that camaraderie.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's funny. Like we were talking about yesterday. You not speak to someone for years, or even months. Or not go extreme in years, a few months, even nearly a year, and then you talk to them, and it's like having that conversation like you seen each other yesterday.
It's 100% right, Jono, because an example of that, I was travelling Australia for 4 years, and ended up in Learmonth and ran into a fellow there I hadn't seen since Butterworth, so 30 odd years.
Far
And
out.
it was just like the day we'd left, so on the piss, barbecue and everything like that. It was just like we left off, So that happens a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen in Civvy Street. I've got some really good friends there too, but it just seems to be that little bit of a bond with the service. I think because even though I might be saying it was pretty easy in the RAAF, which it was, but anyway, it was easy, but I'm sort of stuck here for words. How can I say that? It's
It was easy, but you had that shared experiences, and
Well, you did it tough sometimes and everything like that. And when you're doing it tough, and you're in a group with a group of people, and you're all pulling together for it, you tend to get that bond.
Yeah. As they say, what is it? Strength in numbers.
Definitely. And I haven't had sort of the same experience since I've been out. Like I've got a lot of good friends, but I suppose you're not in that hard times. Like, because sometimes if you're on exercises and that, if we were in the heat of the moment, say aircraft were coming in and we got to catch a number of them, so you're running. Did you hear that? Raffy running?
Yeah.
Anyway, run. No.
What he means is they got in the cars, they drove out to the airport, and they waved the plane down, did some of this, bit over here.
Well, you got to look after yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so there was times there where you're really reliant, and the area I'm in and what I was doing sometimes could be quite dangerous. So yeah.
So like with the Army guys, I asked the question, what was the most useless bit of equipment you were ever issued? And going for myself, it was a Fred. And going the fucking...
What's a Fred?
It was that spoon
It was a spoon with a can opener.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Fucking ridiculous eating device is what it stood for.
That's right, I remember them.
So did you
didn't
get
have-
anything weird issued to you in the Air Force? Like one of the other guys said, your Millbank filter. Do you remember your Did you ever get issued a Millbank?
No.
Yeah, of course you fucking wouldn't. But we get this thing, and you're meant to
I'm
fill it
learning.
with water, and then when it drains out, it's meant to be, even though it would be fucking filthy coloured water, it's meant to suck all the impurities out of the water so you could drink the stale water. I never trusted it in my entire life. There's no way in fucking hell. But is there anything you guys were issued?
Not really.
Not that
I
great?
can't really think of anything like that.
No.
No.
Did you ever have a like, you know, because you were moving around so much, I'm guessing you met fucking a wide range of people.
Yes.
Did you ever find that one person, now like not in a negative way, and just you could not forget them? So like, you know, you meet fuckwits in the army all the time, like I did.
Yeah.
But in the Air Force, did you ever meet someone that character or their personality, you were like, mate, you were impossible to forget for a good reason, not for a shit reason, like not, you know, you want to punch his head in.
Oh, well, I did that to one person, but it was required. So, but as
I'll
far-
come back to that. I'll know about that.
So, but I will say, there's one person that I met when I was about 24, 25, and he was an ex-apprentice. He's the same age as me, but he'd been in for about 4 or 5 years prior to me.
Yeah.
And pretty wild bloke, actually, and a top bloke. So I'll just call him Chip. That's what we used to call him. And he used to say to me, Nick, righto, well, we're going to have a couple of beers this afternoon. And I said, righto. So in the squadrons, we used to knock off about half an hour to an hour earlier than the depots. So there was no airman's boozer open. So we'd go down to the ASCO garage and buy a couple of tallies, and we'd neck them, and then we'd go over to the bowling club at Amberley and start drinking there. And anyway, this particular day we got there and we got socially excited. Trust me, we were paralytic. And so I lived at Amberley, so he's driving. Back then there was no issues. So he drove me up to where I lived and got out of the car, and I'm still, you know, you're there, but I'm crawling on the ground to get to my steps. So I've got up there, and we used to have these half-quarter windows that open up like that.
Oh, your old louvers. We had them in
Oh, no, it was bigger. It was a window about that big. It used to open up, and you could just squeeze in there. And, of course, it was pretty late, and I thought, my wife would have locked me out. You know?
Yeah.
So I climbed in there, and once you get in there, and I've straddled a couple of gas bottles, and I'm sliding in, and I'm committed.
Yeah.
And, of course, there's washing up there, and that's coming with me. And anyway, into the kitchen. Here I am, sweetie. Cleaned myself up after that, and anyway, went to bed, and then the next morning off to work. And we used to have a yellow push bike we used to get around on the base, but you're allowed to ride it up to home.
Yeah.
So I got on that, and I rode to work, and going down to the main gate is a slight slope, and the bloke on the gate, you know, you get to know each other, and I'm coming down there, and he goes, yeah, righto, Nico. And so I'm coming down, head down, pretty hungover. And the gates, the boom they're water operated, they were, and they're very slow.
Yeah.
Of course, I've beat the gate. So I've taken the gate out, spread out everywhere. And in those days, you used to have a beret on.
Yeah.
Anyway, an overall, so the arse is ripped out of me overalls, blood everywhere, beret's fucked. Anyway, bike's rooted. So I've dragged that up around to where I'm working.
Yeah.
They usually have a muster parade in the morning.
Yep.
So I'm on the muster parade and everything like that, and I was the marker. And the engineer came around, nice bloke, and came around. He said, Nick, he looked at me, he said, don't you ever fucking turn up on my parade in this condition again. And he said, where's your mate? I said, what do you mean? He said, Chipper. Oh, I said, that's the prick swaying up the end there, sir. Right, anyway, parade's finished. When we got off, anyway, Chipper came over and he said to me, he said, what happened to you? I said, the gate, I fucked up, you know. He said, okay. He said, I woke up sitting in the car and it was still idling, sat there, put it in reverse and came to work. Yeah, pretty big night.
Yeah, it would have been. Man, as you can see, conditions out here not bad. Just fucking no fish. No fish today.
Did he tell you about how he left me, like, to drown?
I did not leave you to drown, bro. That is an exaggeration and a half.
I don't trust you. I want to hear your story, Chris.
Tell everyone.
The day you tried to drown him when he went out in the kayak.
Oh, you mean when we were bass fishing and you capsized your own kayak?
I capsized a kid's kayak.
A kid's
with
kayak?
a ladder on the back. Anyway, so I capsized it.
Yep.
Rang my brother, and Jonathan comes probably like 30, maybe 45 minutes later.
No, I had to pedal all the way there. It was a bit of a hike,
It was hot. Here
But-
he is coming fishing.
but I couldn't stop trolling because I was catching
Oh,
bass.
so he thought he'd fish while he's on his way out.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're in fresh water. He wasn't going to get eaten by a shark or anything crazy like that. But then I got there and I said, what are you doing? Well, I can't remember what I said, but and he said, I've fallen over. And so we got over and he goes, are you still fishing? And I said, nah. And he goes, well, what's this? And there was a lure stuck on him. But I guess you just put that down to whoopsie doopsie. But it was good. We'll put the footage up here. It's from our first ever bass fishing time we went out. Yeah, he's all right. So guys, we just got a phone call. My little brother has decided to, wait up, I just got to get this leaf off. Alright, so back to what I was saying. So we just got a phone call from my brother, Chris, and he's had a bit of an accident and gone overboard on the kayak. So we're gonna go pick him up now and start making our way back as well, because then it's getting a bit late. I think it's, about 3:30. By the time we get back there, it'll be about 4:30. It'll take us about half an hour, 45 minutes to get back and then pack up. So that'll be our day done. But Jappy's got some, I've got some. So we'll just keep trolling back and see if we can get another one on the way back. But definitely not gonna stop fishing. We'll make our way back, but we'll be fishing. Oh, you kept everything? Fuck. Alright, so what do you want to do? Yeah.
Take this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Take the glasses.
Wait, I just
There you go. No battery.
Are you going to be able to get back on? Oh, here you're on.
Fuck me.
Jappy, you want to come on this side of me? Get up there. Get on there. I got you.
Okay.
How long you been in the water?
Fucking hours.
Oh, wait up, I got to fill in everyone on the YouTube. So guys, we found him. He's there.
Yep.
He's alive. See how guys, as I was saying this morning about the life jackets. Now we're in freshwater dam and he's part fish, right? But to make himself easier, I open it up and he sits there. Well guys, definitely earning me keep here. This is tail on the other side, as you can see back there, 10. There is another 2 kayaks back there. One being my brother, kayak. Oh yeah, it's behind me, I can see it now. And one being Jappy. So Jasper's giving Chris a lift back in to the sport, which is over there, about 200 metres away. And we're going into a bit of a strong headwind, so making life just a little bit harder, but we're definitely moving, and that's all we got to worry about. 10 metres! Watch out for sticks now, Chris. Watch out for trees! Okay. I can't see underwater. 10 metres! 5 metres! Land ahoy! Christopher, see how important that device there is? Life jacket. So what happened, Chris? Fill us in on the story. Let's wait here, Andy. We use this like a bit of a selfie stick. So what happened, Chris?
My brother gave me a tiny.
See, this is what always
kayak.
happens. He always has a go. Yes, he got the smallest kayak.
That was not weighted properly, and he's for a fucking teenager, not an adult.
Yeah.
And I'm an overweight adult. And
We're not overweight, we're just
no
heavy,
overweight.
big boned.
No. Anyway, fucking besides the point, coming across here, fucking wind.
Bit of side wind across this.
No, it wasn't side wind. It was like fucking winds crossing, like turbulence.
Oh.
One wave would come from one direction, and the other one was from another direction.
Oh. And then you
Trying to fucking
wiggle
counteract it,
and into the water.
and then fucking in the sink.
No, don't swear, but.
I'm Australian. I'm allowed to swear.
Well, Chris is now going to drive the big kayak back and tow the little one, and I'll swim the last 500 because I'm part fish. But what I'll do is I'll put this here so all of you guys can watch while I sort of swim back, and it takes us into the dock. So if you could, I guess I always put it back, you know, like if you could go back to a younger version of yourself now, okay, would you still have joined the Air Force?
With what I know now, I reckon I would have joined earlier.
Yeah?
It's not that I was a bad person, but it straightened me out. It gave me a bit of purpose.
Yeah.
And it was great. And the best thing about it was, as you know, you could play sport. Or whatever. And you didn't have to, and free medical and that, and you laugh at that, things like that, but you don't have to worry about anything. And I think that was it. I went to work and I treated 22 years as a big game.
Yeah.
I was very serious about my job. And anyone that knows me, I was very serious. And if you got in my way and I had to do my job, you were fucked.
Yeah.
As simple as that. But anything else, jovial, joke, piss, whatever.
Yeah. So you're just a happy-go-lucky bloke,
Pretty
but when it
well,
was
yeah.
time to work, that was
Definitely,
it. You flicked that switch and you...
work was always first, and matter of fact, nearly everyone I knew and most of the people were that way.
Yeah.
And because, see, with you go and do PT first thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're usually getting over a hangover and then trying to.
Yeah,
work
but
out
we've
what
got
to
the
do.
hangover throwing up while doing the PT, and they're doing you got to do the rope run, so you're running with the rope and you're vomiting on yourself, and you just keep running. Because if you stop running, then you fall behind, and then you get yelled at, and you got to do extra PT. Like at one stage there, I had to do, you know, like the last vet, Drano, he mentioned it. Well, probably not last vet to this video, but the last one that I watched. Mine's still getting in edited. But yeah, he said that he got put into, what do you call it? Fat Club.
Oh,
And that was when you failed your BFA.
BMI,
And you had to go into fatties, and that's where you went there and they did extra training. But that was in an afternoon in your own time. Right. That was the only thing I hated.
Righto.
Because everyone else would be going to the boozer, and there I am putting on my PT gear, go down the road and go do a bit more PT, and then get to go back. By the time you get to the boozer, everyone's half cut and you got the shits anyway, so you leave.
So blokes that failed their medical or their physical hours, they just have to walk or get better in the RAAF time. They'd get an hour in the morning to do it, and it didn't really help.
No?
No, not a lot of them struggled to a degree, but they just sort of kept going.
Yeah, just kept pushing it back.
It wasn't that serious. I got a bit serious towards the end in '99. They used to have it was a bit more serious, but other than that, no.
Yeah.
If you were good at your job, and that you got in there and worked hard and did your job and everything like that, you'd do well.
Yeah.
And what I used to do, I volunteered for anything.
Yeah.
If they came and asked for volunteers, I'd volunteer. And mate would say, "Look, that's a pretty shit trip." I said, "Doesn't matter." I said, after a while, and it does, after about 8 years, people get to know you, and you'd get these really good trips.
Yeah.
So,
Because you're putting your hand up for all the shit. They're like, well, wait up, he's actually a good worker and he's volunteering for the fucking, to go scrub a toilet. Let's give him a really good job like playing with the F-18s.
Yeah, he drinks too much and he's a bit of a handful and, things like that. But see what I'm saying? The service back then was, you had to be good at your job. And that's all. And that's the main thing, I suppose, aircraft or whatever it was. There's no fuck-ups.
Yeah. So, you alluded to it before, now I'm interested. So what happened that you punched someone? Why did you punch him? And who was it?
Well, why wouldn't you punch your boss? He's an arsehole.
Yeah, they are.
But
they are.
yeah, so it would take a fair bit for me to get cranky. You know what I mean? I really did. But this bloke, and once again, I'd done all squadron work. I'd been overseas and I'd come back.
Yeah.
But I had a pretty bad motorbike accident and had plates, and I had to have more operations. So I got put down at 1AD in Melbourne. It's a depot. And basically, it's just a big factory, clock on, clock off. So I didn't really fit in too well, and we used to have a few people walk across, and warrant officer there, he'd come in. He was just, look, no other word for it, an arsehole, and he'd annoy everyone, everything like that. And so I used to challenge me a little bit.
Because you were a shit stirrer. Because I've noticed that today on the boat, you and Pete, as you said, he's your carer, and like, all you've done is shit stir him all day.
Oh, okay. I thought he was shit stirrer.
No, well, it was a bit of both,
But the thing is, yeah, so, no, I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud because I lost my temper, but it happened, and this bloke had to be stopped, so we're on a bivouac, and 90-odd men there, no one's seen anything happen.
Really? Well, that just shows that maybe the guy was a complete fuckwit, not just an arsehole.
Yeah, so he deserved what he got, and... But anyway, later on, back in those days, if you were going to get charged, it was marching the guilty. So you would have to stand there. You couldn't turn left or right, and you're virtually getting nailed.
Yeah.
So they got me on disobeying a lawful command, and it's so easy to put someone on that, you know. And
that's like a last ditch resort to make sure that you get in trouble.
Exactly. So they nailed me on that, and I copped a severe rep with another bloke that's lost his seniority for 18 months. No promotions or anything like that. But once again, old school, there was a CO there that came back onto the unit.
Yeah.
I sort of cut a few things out what we spoke to yesterday, otherwise it'll end up too long.
Yeah.
But the CO, he came along, and I was walking out of the hangar, and he's a big unit, and he's walking across, and you know, you get someone that's tracking you down.
Yep.
And I looked, he said, "Come here, Corporal RAAF." Anyway, I got over there, and he said, "Where would you like to go?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, where would you like to go?" I said, "Well, why should I go somewhere?" I said, "I'm not the prick here."
Yeah.
I said, "Those bastards there." He said, "Where would you like to go?" Oh, okay. He said, "Go straight to the orderly room and put down your posting preference." And once again, you've heard, I went over there, got it out there, 3 choices: Williamtown, Williamtown, Williamtown. And the bloke said, "Nick, it don't work that way." I said, "Yes, it does. That's how it is." All the postings were out.
Yeah.
4 weeks later, posted to Williamtown.
Well, it works.
And when I got there, the warrant officer said, and they used to try and rub it in a bit, but either way you would have to do these courses anyway. He said, "I'm putting you on a Superman's course, just a management course for 6 weeks down in Wagga." I said, "Oh, thank you very much. I really want to get ahead in this outfit." And anyway, I walked away and mumbled a few words. And so I went down there after about 3 weeks, and doing it tough down there because you're sitting in a classroom and they're teaching you service writing and all of that. And
so hard.
Anyway, I'm there, and he's turned around about 3 weeks into it, and they turned around and they said, "You've got to go and see the CO." I said, "Why?" They said, "You've got to go and see the CO." So I went up to the CO, and I'm thinking, I've done something wrong or got in trouble or told someone to get fucked or whatever. So anyway, got in there, and he turned around and he said, "Corporal, you're out of uniform." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You were promoted 3 weeks ago." He said, "You got to go down to tailor and get everything stitched on and then move into the sergeant's mess." I said, "Well, hang on, don't get up me. I didn't know." He said, "You're out of uniform, tailors and move into the sergeant's mess." I said, "Well, I can't move into the sergeant's mess because I'm with corporals and that, and we're all tagged together doing courses together, so I don't want to interrupt that." He said, "Well, okay, uniform." So back out, went down, got back into the classroom, and my mate's saying, "Hey, what did we do last night?" I said, "I don't know what we did, but I got promoted." "Yeah, but what did we do?" I said, "I got promoted." "Bullshit." I said, "I got promoted." "And you only been in 5 minutes, you're getting promoted?" "Yep." Anyway, I came in the next day with my stripes on, everything like that, and they said, "I'll be fucked."
And that's just after you originally punched old mate and then
6
got told,
months.
"Oh, far out."
So the bloke that saved me was this wing commander. He could see what was going on. And back in those days, those blokes were virtually God. You know?
Yeah.
And like I said, you get some really good operators, men. Like, I'd do anything for that gentleman.
Yeah.
Like, and so would everyone else. He had so much respect.
Yeah.
But the other bloke,
Yeah, he's
I'd
complete
flog him
fuckwit.
again.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, that's
So, I'm trying to think how to word this. If you had to talk to, you know, someone that's getting out or someone that's, I'm going to ask a bit of a darker question. I normally don't, but what's your advice when it goes to dealing with your mental health? Are you one of those people that you've gone out and tried to get help since getting out, if you had any issues? Or are you more like, fuck it, it doesn't exist, I'll just leave it alone?
well, obviously I know it exists because being a senior NCO in the service, you see things happening, and I've had people come up and where I've had to help them and point them in the right direction for help. There's definitely, definitely.
So your advice would be to seek the help then to
Definitely seek help, and it's always a hard thing. And if you can talk to a mate or somebody or anybody, but don't bottle it up. And this is where I'm sort of lucky. You might realise now, I don't give a fuck about nothing, and I don't bottle things up. So I let it flow all the time. So Peter and all these people, when I'm down the fishing huts, they get the arse end of it because I just sit there. I'll have a few beers and I'll just say what I want.
Yep.
And I don't care. See, where other people won't do that, and I bottle it up. So if you start doing that, it builds up, and then you will have trouble. So, definitely seek help. But the best way is help is like RSL Fishing Club.
Yeah.
And actually, you got that hat on.
Yeah, I got the hat on.
That. Jesus Christ.
No, that's the kids won it.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, I won the last, what was the monthly...
Members' choice.
No, I didn't win Members' Choice. No, I won the species. I won the species.
Really?
And then the kids both entered 4 fish each, and they got a hat. So I said, well, that's my hat. I'll take the hat, and you kids can have $20 each. So.
But now you've got the kids involved and everything like that. But with the huts or any club, if you get in there, even if it's a bowling club, doesn't matter what it is, there's all different characters in there, and then you might link up with somebody.
You might find someone that you click with.
Yeah, my advice is don't sit at home.
Yep.
Get your ass out and exercise. I know that's a bad one. A lot of people don't want to do it when they get out of the service, but even if you just walk, you need to get your ass out of the house every day, and I'm very much into that. I'm up at 5 o'clock. I'm not an exercise freak, as you...
Yeah.
I wouldn't have made it well in I think I can only do 16 push-ups.
You only have to do that now, you're given your age.
Oh, well, I can do 16, but that's it.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
You just get out and communicate with people. But be physical too about it. Get your ass out and do something.
Oh, that's cool. So you after you discharged and you finished up, did it take long for you to find your feet back in civvy world, or was it more like, you know, it was because from the sounds of it, everything just falls in your fucking lap?
I don't know. I got married at 20 and I didn't have to. See, but I drank a fair bit.
Yeah. Well, probably a fucking wise thing that you got married. She probably put the fucking the halter on a bit.
Yeah, used to keep me on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
So, look, I got out, I reckon, for about 6 or 8 months, I questioned myself. Why did I get out?
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I was laughing.
Yeah.
I could just sit back. I would have been right, you know, and I could have coasted, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have been one of those blokes that sat on their ass, because I used to get out and I'd play sport with you and I'd do things.
Yeah.
But in the end, I just said to myself, you made a choice.
Yeah.
You got out for a reason. Get on with it, you know, basically. Yeah. And that's what I did. So I went out and I worked for Wreck Air Hire as a fitter foreman for a while. I had my own business for 5 years. And then I finished up with Coney Elevators. I worked in there and I went right back onto the tools because I didn't want to do anything as far as supervision anymore because... you know, it's just a heartache. It's just not worth it. So I just went back onto the tools and thoroughly enjoyed it.
So you're not. I was about to say you're locally born and raised, but that's not right. No. But you live here now in the
Victoria
Redland,
Point, yes.
Victoria Point, and you go out fishing a bit. So what can you think back and think what your biggest fish or your first fish was?
Well, the first fish would have been as a kid would have been a mullet,
Yeah.
but so
Well,
biggest-
what's the first fish you caught and went, fuck, I need a photo? Well, back then we wouldn't have had cameras anyway.
no, but Spanish mackerel. So when I got out,
Of course you had to say that, eh? Guys, look, the reason why I reckon he said this, we've gone out this morning chasing Spanish mackerel as we always do every time we go out. We have a bit of a trial. We got hit by that marlin, but I can't seem to fucking catch one. I reckon these guys have got bananas hidden somewhere in their fucking bags because the conditions were perfect. They just weren't there. A Spanish mackerel, how
Yeah.
big?
I
this
didn't
big?
weigh things. I didn't weigh things that big, but I lived in Gladstone. When I got out, I went to Gladstone.
Yeah.
And of course used to fish out of there, and I still go back fishing out of there. I know a pro fisherman there, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty right. But Spaniards, and like they're a great fish to catch because they run your boat, they fight you all the way. You know, they're good eating.
I wouldn't know, sorry. I've never had the chance.
Well, you take my word.
I'll
for
take
it.
your word.
But-
I'll just, one day.
But I would say that actually, there's one fish I haven't caught, which I'm targeting. I've tried for 2 years. Is wahoo.
Yeah.
I've never caught a wahoo. So I've caught all your reef fish and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But never a wahoo. I'd love to catch a wahoo. And they're up the top end here of Morton.
In Morton,
so
yeah.
as we discussed, we should look into it, especially December when it's really hot in that time.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. I'd love to follow you up and give it a go. See if we can organise a bit of a trip.
Yeah. No, that'd be good.
Oh, mate. Well, look, Nick, I know it was short notice, me getting you out here this week. We had another veteran have some medical issues, so he said he couldn't come, and I just want to say, mate, thanks heaps for putting your hand up and saying, hey, look, I can come, because it made my life easier this week, that's for sure.
Well, see, this is where we're talking about the service.
Yeah.
I knew nothing what you did, and you rang Peter, and we're
Yep.
sitting in the vehicle, and you said you needed a veteran, and Peter didn't even think of me. Thanks, mate.
I didn't want to commit you. I didn't want you to punch me out.
But once I heard your story,
Yep.
because I'm not really into this type of stuff, although I do watch a lot of YouTube.
Well, there you go.
I really do. And when I found out what you're doing, I thought, righto, I'll do that. See what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that's the service bonding bit coming
Yeah.
out, you know what I mean? So I could see a link there, I could see what you were doing, so I agree with it 100%
Oh,
what you're doing.
appreciate it, mate.
And so I went home and straight away got onto YouTube and had a look at your channel, what you were doing, because
Thank you.
if I didn't like it, I would have said...
You would have said no? Yep.
But no, so thank you for inviting me.
Nah, mate, you're more than welcome.
I think Peter and I have had a pretty good day.
Yeah, apart from the fishing being shit.
But that's fishing.
Yeah, that's
But I
why
had a great day in the water.
it is a great
But
day.
another thing, I'm looking at your brother here, and I looked at him and I didn't think he'd served, and through discussion, I found out that he serves.
Yeah.
It's a small little world.
His veteran video is coming up in December, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, December the 4th, I think I'm filming his veterans video, but he wants to do something a bit different to what everyone else does, but I'll leave that a bit of a secret for when it comes out.
Well, I
But-
think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. But no, mate, I really appreciate it, and we'll fucking punch it back in, and I'll go home and wash the boat.
Well, I'm going to go home and get on the piss.
Yeah, I'll probably do that while I'm cleaning the boat. All right, guys, we'll head back in, and we'll see you on the next episode. Don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you later.